Welcome to Viral Recaps. Today I'm going to explain a short sci-fi drama movie called Two Distant Strangers. Spoilers incoming. Let's get right into it. The movie opens with Carter waking up in a bed next to Perry. He tries to put his clothes on and leave, but Perry wakes up and catches him in the act. She jokes about it and goes to the bathroom. Perry then asks Carter if he'd like them to go out and get some food, but he refuses as he has to go back home to his dog. She thinks it's a lie, so they sit down on the sofa and Carter shows her Jeter, his dog. Then they both agree they had a great time and they should meet up again, and Carter leaves. He opens an app to give Jeter a treat and tells him about where he spent the night and that he'll be back home soon. Upon exiting the building, Carter goes through his backpack to find his cigarettes and drops his money in the process. He accidentally bumps into a man and he spills his coffee on his shirt. Carter apologizes and offers to pay for the shirt, but the man declines and continues on his way. At that moment, Officer Merck asks Carter if there's a problem. He briefly explains it's all fine, but the officer then starts to suspect Carter for having that much money and that he's not smoking a cigarette, but something else. Merck then tells Carter to put his backpack down and stand against the wall. Carter then gets scared and annoyed, and after refusing to comply, Merck tries to detain him. While they wrestle, two officers come for backup and they put him on the ground, completely ignoring a woman is filming them and screaming to let him go as he's innocent. Carter then begs the officers multiple times to let him go because he can't breathe, but they ignore him. A few seconds later, Carter ends up dying on the spot. Suddenly, he wakes up next to Perry again. She asks him if he's okay, and he replies that he had a very realistic nightmare. Carter goes through the exact same routine from earlier with Perry. He even plays the same song on his earphones. When he exits the building again and everything starts to repeat, Carter becomes nervous from the déjà vu and starts being more cautious. This time he puts his money in his pocket and doesn't spill the man's coffee. Unfortunately, the cop picks up on him again and they end up wrestling again, resulting in Carter getting shot this time. He then wakes up next to Perry once again. This time he's seriously freaked out as he realizes he's stuck in a time loop. He tries something different this time to see if it'll all end up the same way. Together with Perry, they prepare French toast for breakfast. As they do so, we hear loud banging on the door and Perry goes to check who it is. It turns out to be NYPD, and just before she opens the door, they break it down and enter the apartment. Both Carter and Perry comply as they put their hands up, but all the policemen do is shout that they have a warrant for drugs in this location. After Merck yells that Carter holds a knife, although he's holding a hand whisk, he murders him yet again. Then the time loop repeats a couple times more with Carter experimenting and trying different things to prevent Merck from picking up on him, but it always ends up the same way. Then one morning, he asks Perry what she would do if a person is trying to kill her every single day. She tells him she would either kill him or talk to him, but rather to her diplomatic nature she'd pick the second option. Carter then decides to take her advice, and right after exiting the building, he goes to Merck and explains to him the whole story, as well as telling him what people on the street would do in advance so that he can prove he's not lying. The officer's mind is blown away and lets him go unharmed. Unfortunately, he takes the wrong turn at the wrong time and ends up dead once more. After waking up again, he goes on to do the same thing, and this time Officer Merck ends up taking him home. They have a nice conversation in the car and they almost seem like they're getting along very well. When they arrive, they shake hands firmly and Carter seems so happy and relieved that he's finally out of the time loop. But right at this moment, Merck starts clapping and says that this one was his favorite out of all. This indicated he's also aware that he's in a time loop and enjoys killing Carter every day so much that he doesn't even mind being stuck. When the day restarts once again, he shares with Perry the whole story and says that no matter what he says or what he does, this cop just wants to kill him. She then asks Carter how he plans to escape, and he replies that no matter how much time it takes, he'll figure out how to get back home to his dog. Hey, if you enjoyed this recap, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, as it helps the channel a lot. Thanks for watching and take care.